Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also please give your valuable comments. You can also visit my playlist, and in the playlist I have provided almost all the topics in a very systematic order. You can also make use of it. So since so many classes we are discussing about the clinical understanding of the doshas in the present day practice. So almost all we have completed 7 parts, and today we will continue with the 8th part. Now, how the doshas are formed and what is its relationship with this nature, that part we have dealt in detail in the previous classes. Now, inside the body how the doshas enter, and inside the body how the doshas are get nourished or how they will nurture. So that portion we will discuss today, isn't it? So daily we have got doshas inside the body, and these doshas are also undergoing shaya. These doshas are also undergoing vriddhi. These doshas are actually continuously get lost also, but again it is replenished. How this replenishment takes place, so that's a very interesting subject. Okay, so that we will see today. Now basically this is governed by the universal changes. That means doshas, so they are get regulated inside the body by means of certain universal laws. That means when there is less amount of the panchabhautika substance are taken inside the body, naturally the less amount of the doshas are formed, and when they are excess, that has to be get evacuated. So if you are not able to tune yourself with the changes in the universe, okay, so when the doshas are get increased in the universe, naturally doshas are also get increased inside the body, and vice versa. And a wise person, if he is not able to tune this particular change, so then it may lead to so many problems. So message is very clear. So we have to live in accordance with the changes in the nature, seasonal changes, day-to-day changes, because the same energy in the form of the doshas which is present in the nature is also flowing inside our body. The question is how it actually enter inside the body. Okay, it does not have any vehicle where it can enter inside the body, or it is not in a superstitious phenomena, or it is not in a divine phenomena. It is not like that. How the doshas enter inside the body, that's a very clear thing. That means the food which we are taking from the nature, that itself is a source of formation of the doshas inside our body. Okay, so same. So if you are taking some vata jahara, pitta jahara, kapha increasing, vata increasing, and pitta increasing ahara, so that will going to nourish the doshas inside the body. And the first phase where the avasthapaka takes place, the nishtapaka takes place. So like this panchamabhuta ahara will going to lead to the formation of so many doshas. Okay, so we have to adopt the lifestyle as for the seasonal and as well as day-to-day changes. So in Vata Prabala Kala, suppose if you're talking about Vata Prabala Kala of the day and the season, so go for Vata Harakriya to prevent the over-functioning of the doshas or even the overproduction of the doshas. Dosha inside the body is nourished by the Anna which is taken from the universe. This fact we have repeated so many times. Okay, Anna Purushaha. Okay, so therefore dosha inside the body is nourished by the Anna which is taken from the universe. So Vata, Pitta and Kapha directly influences the Sattva, Raja and Tama. We know that. When the Vata production there inside the body is there, naturally it also increases the Rajaguna or vice versa. And similarly with the Pitta, there is increase of the Sattva Guna, and with the Kapha there is increase of the Tamoguna. So if you take the Rajasika food, so definitely it will go into vitiate the Vata. And if you take the Tamasika food more, definitely it will going to form the more amount of the Kapha. Because yatha annam tata manaha. Okay, it is very clearly told. Yatha annam tata manaha. So vata, sharirika doshas like vata, pitta, kapha, and manasika doshas like sattva, guna, they are interrelated. Sattva, tama are they interrelated. So reciprocally, so one will going to increase the another one. So all the doshas will vitiate themselves and also the others. So this is the basic. Dushayanti doshaha. Okay, the basic quality of the doshas will vitiate themselves and also vitiate the others. Themselves also they will going to vitiate. It's quite difficult to understand. That we'll see in the next classes. All the doshas will going to vitiate themselves. Okay, dushayanti doshaha, and also they vitiate others. A dosha can vitiate the other tissues also. So all the doshas will have two important aspects to understand. What is that? Prakrita Lakshana and as well as Vaikrita Lakshana. So this is the basic nature of the doshas. So before understanding the doshas, these two things has to be understood. What is the basic criteria to say that anything, any entity, biological entity has dosha? Number one, it has got some Prakrita Lakshana. It has got some physiological functions in the body. Another one is it has got some pathological functions in the body. So it has got two Lakshanas. One, when it is in the normal stage, how it behaves. Another one is when it is get vitiated or abnormal, how it behaves. So there are two set of the Lakshanas are there, which is explained in the classics for the doshas. So this is one of the basic criteria to say that any entity, any biological entity has a dosha. Okay, it has got a Prakrita Lakshana and also it has got a Vaikrita Lakshana. So doshas can be, what is the definition of the doshas? Okay, so now we are actually coming into the subject matter of the doshas. Okay, so dosha can be understood by two important things. One is normal function and another one is by means of abnormal functions. So this is told in the Madhu Kosha very clearly. Prakriti Arambatvat and Vikara Utpattitvat. So these are the two basic criteria to say any entity as dosha. It should have its normal function and it should have its abnormal function when it undergo vitiation. So any entity which carries these two properties is called as dosha. Any entity which carries these two properties is called as dosha. Now Rakta is not considered as dosha. Rakta is not considered as dosha as Rakta Dushti Lakshanas are observed, isn't it? Then see, Rakta is not considered as dosha because normal functions and abnormal functions are not explained for the Raktas. Now you can ask the question, no sir, for the Rakta also we have got normal and abnormal functions. No, it is not like that. Okay. For example, in the classics we find Rakta Dushti Lakshanas. Okay. So definitely there is explanation of Rakta Dushti Lakshanas, but that Rakta Dushti Lakshanas are explained in relation to the Dhatu. In relation to the Dhatu. Rakta is considered as Dhatu there and Dhatu Dushti Lakshanas are explained. Okay, but there is no explanation of normal functions of the Rakta dosha. Normal functions of the Rakta Dhatu is mentioned. Normal functions of the Rakta Dhatu Dushti is also mentioned. But normal functions of the Rakta dosha and normal functions of the Rakta dosha Dushti Lakshanas. Rakta dosha Dushti Lakshanas are not function, not explained. What we find in the classes is normal functions of the Rakta as a Dhatu. Okay, therefore, except Sushruta, other will not consider as a Rakta as a doshas. Now, one which independently, another criteria to say that this is dosha. What is that? One which is independently produce the disease is called as dosha. Swatantra Vikara Utpatti Bhavaha. Independently, it should have the capacity to produce the disease. So that is called as dosha. Swatantra Vikara Utpatti Bhavaha. This explanation is not acceptable because, again the question comes. This explanation is not acceptable because usually this is explained in the classics. Okay, Madhavanidhan. He says that one which independently able to produce the disease is called as dosha. And he told that this is another criteria to say what is dosha. But anyway, this explanation is not acceptable because Vatadi etc. doshas are not independent. Because they are dependent on Aharadi. In the body, the Vatadi doshas increases if you take Vataja Ahara Viharas. The Pitta dosha will going to increase if you take the Pitta Ahara Viharas. So independency is not there for the doshas. Even the doshas are also dependent on the Ahara. So therefore, this criteria to say the particular entity as dosha is not acceptable. Okay. So one which is independently produce the disease is called as dosha. But presently what doshas we are seeing, we are explaining. So they are depending on the Aharadi. So therefore, this explanation is not acceptable. Further, as for this version, only Vata can be considered as dosha. See, so what they is one which is independently able to produce the disease is called as Vata, dosha. One which is independently able to produce the disease. Now, one thing is it is not acceptable because they are all dependent. All the doshas are dependent on Aharas. Number two, if this is the definition, then we have to consider only Vata as dosha because Pitta and Kapha are dependent on Vata doshas. Vata, Pitta Panga, Kapha Panga, Pangava Maladata. Vayuna Tatra Niyanti. So therefore they are carried to the different parts of the body through the Vata only. So they are dependent on Vata. So again, the existence of Pitta and Kapha as a dosha is also questionable. So in total, Although they have given this definition with regard to doshas, this is not much acceptable. Okay. So next is production of the doshas. How the doshas are produced. Vata, Pitta and Kapha imbalance need not to be fixed nature in each and every individual. Now, this is a very important aspect. So that we will discuss in the next class. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also please give your valuable comments, and you can also visit the playlist.